So we're here with Spencer. Haven't been able to do interviews for the last few weeks, so catching up on the last few games. Spencer, happy New Year, but it's probably not been the start to the year you were hoping for football-wise.
No, definitely not. And although the first game of the new year away at Carshalton was a good performance without the result that perhaps we deserved. And then if you fast forward a week to Casuals, just a genuinely poor result for us, and that the performance wasn't there to match it, or we didn't probably do enough to deserve to win the game. Although we created lots of opportunities, but I think we found a goalkeeper on form, and we didn't make enough of those opportunities throughout the game to deserve to win it. So, yeah, results wise, not a great start to the new year.
I mean, if you compare the last two games that you just talked about to the few games before that, are you seeing some progression there of sorts?
I think it's difficult to say that you're seeing progression when you're continuing to get defeats.
Yeah.
What I would say, and what I'm trying to say to the players, is we're in every game. We're not getting whacked. We're losing by the odd goal. So that tells me that there's fine margins between us and other teams, and we've got to turn those fine margins into our favour, if you like. So the things that we've been working on are those small percentages. It might be a set play. It might be just an error from an individual that turns a game one way or the other. It's so, although the results, I've not seen a progression. Of course, we haven't picked up the points that we need to. I've seen individuals growing into the way we want to play. We have had an influx of new players, which although no one really wants to hear it, it sometimes does take a little while for those players to get used to the way that I want them to play, and also get used to their surroundings and the other players. So having to bring in new players, the amount that we have had in a short space of time, doesn't help. But certainly on the training pitch, I'm seeing the progression. But we now need to turn that into the results, which is that's the business, right? It's we've gone past the stage where, and I said it to the players last night. Actually, we've gone past that little honeymoon period for those new players where performances are important. It's now we need points and we need results. So I would much rather an ugly performance tomorrow against Enfield and a result, rather than a really good performance and another defeat.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about those last couple of games, then what are some of those small margins that just aren't going our way at the moment?
So I think certainly against Carshalton, I thought we played well. The style of play, the way that we tried to move the ball was good, and was exactly as I've been asking. What we missed out on that day was that final little piece of the puzzle, if you like. Great Evans made his debut up front, and I thought worked hard. What we had in that game especially was a series of corners and free kicks that are obviously dangerous situations, and I think the deliveries were on the money. But for whatever reason, whether that's people making the wrong runs, being blocked out, or I hate to say it, sometimes it is that little bit of desire to go and score yourself a goal. Balls were flashing across the box, and if you flip it to the goal that we concede, it was a set play again that they scored from. So we weren't carved open, but they managed to get over the line, and I think there's a little bit of experience in the team that Carshalton put out that day compared to us. But certainly on that day, I walked away with loads of positives, and fully expected us to go into the game against Casuals, knowing that a similar performance would have got a good result. But unfortunately, no two games are the same, and players didn't perform up to the levels that they had the week before, and we came unstuck. So yeah, it's tough at the moment. There's no hiding place for that. It's tough. The results are not going where I want them to go. I know the supporters are frustrated. We felt that at the final whistle on Monday, and I feel for them. We all want it as much as each other, and yeah, I think the key message for me to go out to the supporters is that we're the group that I have now are all on board. They all want to play for the football club. They're committed to me and the staff, and they buy into the way that we want to do it going forward. So I believe in the methods, and hopefully we'll see those results in the next we've got a strong January. We need, by the end of January, we'll know where we're at. We've got some winnable games and we've got some tough games. So by the end of January, we'll certainly know where we're at.
Yeah, I mean, those next 5 games, you've got, I think some combination of Hornchurch and Enfield, which are always going to be tough games.
Yep.
And then games like Wingate and Herne Bay and Rains Park in the Cup, which presumably are games you're circling, looking at, thinking those are games we need to win.
Yeah, it's sometimes dangerous to do that, because I keep saying to our players, it's not easy to win games of football, no matter what level, no matter who the opposition. You see it in our league all the time. You only have to look at Brightonsea beat Bishop Stortford the other day, a result that perhaps you wouldn't expect. So it's one of the, I don't fear anyone in this league. I know that we can beat anyone on our day, and I listen to lots of other managers in the division, and we all pretty much say the same thing. Yeah, anyone can beat anyone on their day, but if you don't turn up, equally you can lose to anybody. So I don't think Enfield Town away, Hornchurch away, they're not games that we fear. I certainly go into Morris game fully believing that we can get a positive result.
Mm-hmm. Obviously there's been quite a lot of turnover in the squad. Can you, and I know quotes have gone out with some of the news stories, but can you talk us through some of the new lads and kind of what you expect them to bring, and players that have left recently as well?
Yeah, so probably try and do it chronologically if you like. Since the last time we spoke, and we lost the club captain, Kenny Beanie, and I don't think we've spoken about that since. Obviously, that's a blow. The club captain decided he wanted to leave. So just want to make that clear that he certainly wasn't forced out of the club in any shape or means. Kenny decided that he wanted to move on. He towards the end he had a back injury that meant he was unavailable for selection. That cleared up quite quickly as soon as he signed for Leatherhead. So read it between the lines there. I don't want people at the football club who don't want to play for us anymore. I'd like to think the supporters would back that. So that was the situation with Kenny. Very similar with Jack Strange, actually. An ever present for us at the start of the season. An offer came in from Horsham for him, which I matched financially. So it wasn't a financial decision for Jack to leave. He decided again that he no longer wanted to play for the football club. So he goes with my best wishes, if you like. We can't have people around who don't want to be there. Others who have left, Kieran Cadogan has moved on this week. Kieran's a great lad, someone I've got a lot of time for, but it just hasn't really clicked for him for us. So Kieran's moved on. Other lads who played probably more of a bit part through the season: Thomas Gogo, Amin Sassi, Finley Johnson, Nods, who we had on a dual reg from Worthing, has gone back, and Sam Jackson, the goalkeeper. So probably worth noting, Sam wanted to be a number one. I had a tough decision to make between two good goalkeepers, and made the decision that I was going to push with Rob Tolfrey as the number one. Sam understandably wants to be a number one, so decided that he wanted to leave the club. Ironically, I guess for Sam, he's gone to Canvey Island and is the number two. So again, it's one of those, if people don't want to be around, and then they need to move on. So moving on to the positive side of things, we have made some really good additions, I think. So I've mentioned already, Gray Evans is a striker who I worked with previously at Wingate and Finchley. He did really well for me there, and managed to, he got a big money move to Leatherhead at the time. Subsequently, his career's probably started a little bit through injury, but he's back fit now. And I'm hoping that within the next 2 or 3 games, we'll really see the best of him. Defensively, we've added Danny Dudley and Jake Eels, both good, experienced lads. yeah, if you look at it, Danny Dudley and Jack Strange is basically a swap, right? So Dudley's come in, played 2 games. I think he's done well. Jake Eels is again another lad that I've worked with at Wingate and Finchley. Really honest, good lad, technically sound, and he will, although he hasn't made an appearance yet, he will be a big asset for us going forward. Joe Boachi is a lad that we brought in and has excited already. I know he scored, but he's somebody that we've had our eye on for a little while trying to get in. So we've managed to get Joe in, and another couple of forward players, Josh Ogunsay and Jacob Bancroft. So another 2 young, exciting, quick forwards that really fit into the model that I'm trying to bring to the team, which is a bit of pace, a bit of power, and some explosiveness going forward. So just sort of going through that there's been a lot of change in a short period of time. So yeah, no excuses. The results are not great, but that turnaround will take a little while.
Are you now hoping, or at least assuming, this is the kind of settled squad for the foreseeable?
Yeah, and I've said that to the boys because it's unsettling for everyone. We don't want that revolving door mentality that we had. Now it's a time we've got a squad. I think it's 18 to 20 that now this is us now, unless there are injuries, etc., or exceptional players become available that we can get. This is it now, and we're working hard on this squad to get us where we need to be.
And obviously after Enfield on Saturday, there's a Surrey Senior Cup game. I guess, looking at the table, it certainly looks like we're in a relegation fight. So that'll be, I guess, the chance for a bit of success this season. How much priority will you put in that cup competition?
I want to win a game of football. So we want to win the game on Saturday, and then we want to beat Rains Park. And to be honest, I haven't forgotten the pre-season friendly we had there. Although probably none of the players will be around from that day. That was a bit of a chastening experience on a personal note, and I'll certainly be relaying that to the players. Rains Park are a good team, so they're in a lower division, of course, but they're a good side. So yeah, I want to bring some success. We want to win games. If winning those games turns into a trophy, then fantastic. There will be an element of a couple of players who need some minutes that will play, but I'll be going pretty much as strong as possible against Rains Park.
Yeah, I mean, you probably couldn't find many tougher games when you're playing a team in a Division 2.
Yeah,
playing a team in a Division 2 below, really. Players like Lamont and Charlie Penny are pretty well known, and they're obviously having quite a good season.
Yeah, I'm sure they have a nice budget. Being over there speaking with the chairman before the season, they're an ambitious club. So yeah, got a lot of respect for them. We certainly won't be taking them lightly. It's a tough game. So we'll prepare as we always do, and go there and try and give a performance for the supporters and for the club.
Yeah, indeed. Well, good luck at Enfield tomorrow, and we'll see you soon.
Cheers, James.
Cheers.